Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a fairy garden. I'm going to customize this galvanized bucket and add our family's name on here using the Cricut Maker, and I'm going to show you what we put inside of our little galvanized bucket to kind of showcase a little fairy village, if you will, and kind of show you what our kids decided to pick out using these things that we got at Hobby Lobby and Big Lots. So stay tuned, I'm going to show you exactly how I personalize it with the Cricut Maker. The family took a trip to a nursery a while back and they saw these beautiful fairy gardens, and their grandma also has fairy gardens. And so the kids were really excited to try to create their own fairy garden right at home. So who was I to basically take that away from them? I took the family to Hobby Lobby to pick up a few Cricut items to personalize this galvanized bucket that I had in mind to personalize our fairy garden. And then we also wanted to pick up a little figurines and some houses. Now, as we went to Hobby Lobby, we looked in the garden area, but they actually have a little fairy area for garden fairies, just FYI. Then we stopped in the scrapbooking area where all of the Cricut supplies and materials and machines are, and you can see that Cricut has its own like aisle for all of their products. What's really amazing about Cricut is that they have a huge product line that they have products for. Like their machines have products that actually work with them and are guaranteed to work with them. I then walked around and decided to get some inspiration. So I saw this little galvanized bucket that had like some signage that I kind of wanted to repeat, but with our family's name on the galvanized buckets that we had for our fairy garden. And so that gave me some ideas. And then we went to the fairy garden area, and then we picked up a few houses and some fairies and like a whole bunch of different accessories. I will tell you, do not let the kids handle it after you pick them out because they will break them. We pretty much broke like 4 different figurines. So just word to the wise, make sure that you're very, very careful with these items. But we picked out a house and some fairies, and then we kind of laid them out to see like if they would fit into the galvanized bucket. So the kids had a blast just trying to figure out what they wanted to pick and where they would position it. All right, so I actually tried using regular vinyl and it didn't work because this galvanized bucket has that old agey feel to it, and so it has dirt and stuff all encrusted on it, so the regular vinyl wouldn't stick. So I'm going to use Stencil Vinyl. Okay, this is Stencil Vinyl, and what you can do is actually create a stencil that sticks on there, and then you can paint over it. Take out all the bubbles with the Stencil Vinyl, and I'll go ahead and link it to the Stencil Vinyl down below, but I'm going to go ahead and load this into the machine. Okay, I'm just going to hit the little 2 arrow icon. Alright, so next I'm going to then go into Design Space. I'm going to allow Design Space to walk me through what I need to do. In Design Space, all I did was use the text on the left icon and then created my letters and then choose a line and centered them, and then went ahead and made sure that I marked them as attached. There's a little attach button on the bottom right. The goal with the attach is that it would keep the lettering together so that you're not having to kind of position the top line with the bottom line. So I went ahead and made sure that I clicked on the little attach paperclip icon after selecting both Nickerson and Village. So just a heads up, if you want to do that, that's how you do that. So click on attach. And then I resized it to what the size of my bucket would be. I should have made it a little bit smaller, but you know, hindsight's 2020. But overall, I love the way that it turned out. So once I did that, I hit the word make it and then went ahead and sent it to Cricut. And what you can see here is that there was no device found because I hadn't turned on my machine yet. What it's going to do is hook up to the Bluetooth. And then once it does that, it's going to guide me into like choosing what type of material I'm using all the way to cutting it. So right now it's connecting, so we'll give it a second. If you want to speed up the process, you can go to your Bluetooth settings and just make sure that your Cricut Maker is set up. But then it's going to guide you into picking your material that you want to. And in this instance, I would choose Stencil Vinyl. I know I put vinyl here, but you would choose Stencil Vinyl if it's available. And then it'll ask you to select the tools and materials and load it, and then hit the go button. And then it'll take a little bit to kind of get started. But once it does, you'll be able to see like the percentage and how fast it's done cutting. Now, I will tell you that with Cricut Maker as well as Explorer Air 2, you can actually use your iPad to cut as well. So I haven't tried that yet, but I hear that it's simply amazing for those that are really nifty with the Cricut machine. So this is the machine going through the process and then cutting my machine. So on the other side, what you're not seeing is that the machine is cutting the stencil out, which is awesome. And then it'll tell you to unload the mat, and all you have to do is click the button on the machine. So now that's done, I'm going to go ahead and hit the little icon here. Bring it out. Okay. Now I'm taking the weeding tool and just taking out the letters so that I am left with like the actual stencil itself so I can paint over it. Next, what I'm going to do is use transfer tape, and that allows you to transfer your stencil to the bucket, okay? And as you can see, I didn't do a perfect job at putting on the transfer tape, which is, I think, fine, because it actually turned out fine. I was able to transfer the vinyl to the actual bucket. Now, remember that the bucket is really, really dirty and that the vinyl that I used before would not stick. So in this instance, what I was hoping was that the stencil vinyl would stick to this dirty surface, and it did. So thankfully it worked. Again, I carefully took the transfer tape, put it over the stencil, and now I made sure that with the burnisher, I got the little like letters like inside of the stencil. So like the O has like the outline. So making sure that the O was transferring into the transfer tape. What you want to do is go ahead and take this burnisher and just like make sure that it sticks all the way through so that all the little small hole pieces are going inside of it, okay? So just like that. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this on there. So this is the paint that I had on hand. I don't have any black. This is matte hammered by Rust-Oleum. So I actually have the bucket laid on its side, and I put some painter's tape around the edges where the transfer vinyl didn't cover. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Alright, so that's what it looks like right now. I'm going to let it dry for about 15-20 minutes and then come out and basically peel it off and see what it looks like. And it's right now, it's like 100 degrees outside, just so you guys know. I just wanted to get this done. Some potting soil, and then started adding a bunch of our figurines, houses, and a few plants that I found in the front porch so that we could kind of fill the fairy garden up. Obviously with a fairy garden you want to have a few real plants in there, and so I got a few from the front. The other baskets also had a few plants I picked up at a nursery. So what I wanted to show you guys were these fairy lights that I found on Amazon. I think they're only a few dollars, and so I'll link in the comments below so that you guys can see them. But these are solar panel lights, so that if you wanted to kind of customize your fairy gardens and let them light up and twinkle up in the night, they are really, really awesome. I'm going to unbox these fairy lights. So you got a few stakes in it and this little thing, I don't even know what that says. And then these are the solar panels, and these are the lights, okay? Okay, so I found these dowel rods I'm going to put into the bucket. So the solar panel is on this side. I'm going to go ahead and cover it so you guys see what the lights look like when I turn it on. See how the lights turn on? Because I'm covering the solar panel. It only turns on when the outdoors is dark. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the solar panel so you can see it again. How awesome is that? It's going to look so
beautiful.
If you guys like that video tutorial, the Cricut Maker is really awesome to use just to personalize a lot of different things. I hope you guys got some ideas and inspiration on little fairy villages that you can make. Go ahead and click on the like button if you like this video, and make sure you click on the subscribe icon as well as the bell to get notifications the next time I upload a video. Bye guys!